Hi guys, welcome to Mix. It's weekly roundup time and it's a chilly Saturday morning in the shop. You know how I love doing these morning ones, but yeah, energy drink at the ready. There was no avoiding doing another one this week, another roundup, because we've had tons more stuff in. And I'm still getting screamed at by the guys to stop buying things, but as I keep bleating on about, Black Friday is a little way up ahead, and we're just trying to get in as much as possible for you guys for then. But it's also a really busy time of the year with brands launching things. It's kind of the last ditch effort before Christmas, and things go into a slowdown before then hitting the new year when it all picks up over again, and we have a bunch of other new stuff to show you. Anyway, as you can see, there's actually not so many things here or specific ones to take you through, so don't be too terrified thinking this is going to be another one of my hour-long epics. It's only, I guess, 3 different brands, 3 different kind of ranges I'm going to show you, but it looks like a lot. They're all very cute, very colourful, I filled up the table. Why not? Okay, so we'll dive in, as I always say. We'll start with the snacks first. This isn't a big show and tell type one. It's just the one thing I can really show you, because with these 2 things, obviously you shake them up, you make them into spreads. So yeah, in terms of the ones to actually eat on the go, as it were, we have got, as you can see here, a little kind of near pyramid, a ziggurat or something, of Lenny and Larry's. Lenny and Larry's, everyone knows at this point. It's not really a love it or hate it one, but it's a brand that's been around for years and years. It's probably fair to say sports nutrition was never their primary concern. I mean, the first time I came across Lenny and Larry's cookies was in a convenience store in the States, like a 7-Eleven. So, you know, they were put on there as just kind of cookies that happened to have more protein in. They were not sold as protein cookies or anything, and they certainly weren't in a gym or a sports nutrition store or anything else as a kind of health product. Which probably explains why they are quite high in sugar, and the macros have often been derided over the years. But they've never really aimed at a kind of premium health food market. Yes, they were vegan, fresh baked, all natural, all that kind of stuff, and yes, there was protein in there, but they didn't first and foremost come at this as a kind of guilt-free treat. They were still a treat, and consequently it's why they've done well, and there's loads of wacky flavours, obviously from we've got a tower of them there, like a chocolate donut, chocolate chip, Snickerdoodle, white chocolate raspberry, choco mint. Yeah, loads and loads of the flavours. You know them all by now, and they have been bestsellers in the mix pretty much since day one. So we got these in 2014, and they've gone on ever since, despite being like a far cry from the very justifiable low carb, low sugar, kind of functional foodie protein bars that form up the bulk of what we offer here in the mix. Obviously we have loads of other stuff, and that's to do kind of the industry and ourselves a bit of a disservice, and I'm just looking at protein pancakes right there, the Smart Tart, Pop Tart things. There's loads of other stuff going on, but yeah, cookie wise, Lenny and Larry's have always kind of been the kings, despite not really hitting those kind of very fit fam, gym friendly kind of you can eat load of me justifiable snack markers. But the one thing we've always found with cookies is that a cookie still needs to be a cookie. Whenever we've had cookies that are super justifiable, lower calorie, lower sugar, they just don't do very well, despite being quite nice cookies. We wouldn't put them on if we didn't like them in some way, but they just don't sell that well versus cookies like this that I think have a more broader appeal and are closer to actual cookies. If you don't hit that indulgence marker of an actual cookie, you don't feel you've had a cookie, and then the whole point of having a cookie is redundant. You might as well have not had a cookie. You might as well have had something more justifiable, or a damn rice cake or something. So it's always been one of those weird ones in the mix, in that with the bars, the lower calorie, the higher protein, generally speaking, the better. With the cookies, the more guilt-free they've got, the less popular they've been. It's a kind of paradoxical one, but yeah, it's basically meant that we've done a lot of Lenny Larry's over the years, and many of you have probably tried a cookie, and even if you think, oh, you know what, they're not worth the calories, I think most people agree they're quite nice cookies, and there's a great variety there. And obviously the vegan thing's pretty cool. You barely, you wouldn't know they're vegan at all, so they appeal to everyone. And in the shop here as well, kids come in and eat these quite a lot, and they're good value, and blah blah blah, loads of cool stuff about Lenny and Larry's. Anyway, one of the ongoing gripes that's been a kind of running joke in the mix and elsewhere in the market for quite a while is that the serving size, it's a bit misleading. The calories you see on the back were for half the cookie. So each cookie, and we'll go to the OG ones here, each cookie here, big chunky thing, 16 grams of protein, that's for the whole cookie, but the nutritional numbers on the back, on the panel, is actually for half a cookie. So when you look at it, you're like, damn, this is near 400 calories for a cookie. That is not a health foodie thing at all, and you're dead right. And I think there's a certain amount of obfuscation that's slightly misleading you in the way they pitch as half a serving, because, as it again always comes back to, who eats half a cookie? There is absolutely no way you're going to tear into one of these things, eat half of it, fold it away, put it away for later, have it the next day. It's just, that's an incredible amount of willpower and self-control. The cookie won't even be at its best eaten like that. So it's just a bit disingenuous to say, oh, it's only, looking at this one here, the salted caramel, oh, it's only, I can't even see numbers, oh, it's only, oh, okay, you know what, they've actually changed it, but this is a new packaged one, so this says 420 calories a cookie. It would usually say half that, so what would that, 210 be? So you think, oh, 210 for a cookie like that, damn, yeah, that's not bad, and 16 grams of protein. Obviously not really fair. Anyway, big long spiel. 5 minutes of me talking nonsense about Lenny Larry's, but that's the background to these things. Two things they've just launched now, very cute, very colourful, very here. We've got what they are calling single-serve cookies, because they're playing on that kind of double-serve criticism, which I think is a silly name for a cookie, because I resent taking like a desire item, a decadent impulse item, and looking at it in serving terms. I know that's the way things work, and I know that's the kind of the gym way, and if you're counting your macros and things like that, you have to look at it like that. And yeah, if you're watching your diet, it makes sense to think of it as servings, portion sizes and everything. But with cookies at least, same as, with brownies and ice cream, I hate to distill it to that kind of numbers thing. If I want more cookie, I'm just going to keep eating. As Dan keeps saying with the Go stuff, whereas we haven't got their Chips Ahoy yet, but more cookie equals more life. So yeah, certainly with these things, it's like, I treat it as a cookie and I'm going to enjoy it as such. So we pitched it on site as mini cookies basically, and you'll see why. So there you go, Snickerdoodle. I'll actually do the direct comparison for you by getting the Big Daddy one. So, old style Snickerdoodle, which is serving size per half cookie, as you'll see there. So it's saying it is, 210 calories. That's obviously for half of this thing. A bit confusing. If you're going to eat the whole thing, that's obviously twice that. So, they've put essentially half the cookie into a smaller cookie format right here. So, pull these things out. You can see big and small. I haven't gone down the single serve, double serve thing. Boom, there you go. 57 grams. What's that? 113 grams. Yeah, can you see that? Is that actually recording? It is, brilliant. Okay, ignore me there. So there's not a lot more to it than that. Other than that, sorry, actually getting the camera. Other than that, ingredients are the same, texture's the same. The relative ratios and stuff, the protein, so it's 8 grams for the half. It's all there. You can still hear the, on the cinnamon, it's my favourite flavour, you can still hear the cinnamon sugar sloshing about in there. I will show you one of these, and because they are so cute and diddy, sorry, you don't need to see my back. There are 5 flavours, incidentally, I should say that. There's Snickerdoodle, they've gone with the best sellers, basically. Snickerdoodle, chocolate chip, double choc chip, peanut butter choc chip, and birthday cake. I'm going to show you birthday cake because we're obsessed with sprinkles, and that is what the birthday cake flavour does. Here's one I pulled out earlier. There you go. So it's a half-size thing, because we haven't done a Lenny Larry's cookie on here for a while, not since the salted caramel was the last new one. And as you would expect, you've got the regular looking Lenny and Larry's thing. As they're saying on the back, the complete package, 8 grams of protein, vegan, kosher, da. There you go. Keep the sprinkles in there. Not the most colourful example in the world, but yep, tastes the same. Okay, I didn't really need to show you that. Most of you will have tried this. Most of you know that there's nothing particularly to write home about in terms of what's on top. They're not the most mad cookies we have, except maybe the chocolate sprinkled donut. But yeah, I just want to eat cookie to start the day, so it's a great way into the weekend, I find. Anyway, yeah, 5 flavours. They're simply a smaller version of the bigger ones. If you love Lenny Larry's cookies, you're going to love these just as much. And if you find yourself doing the serving size thing, being irritated by the macros, then oh, good. Yeah, by all means, grab these. What I will say, and we do have a new mini baked is better bundle. So we put mini Lenny and Larry's complete cookie, and then we put the single serving thing in the description. they're not as good value. So again, the economies of scale thing comes into play. Like when you buy protein tubs in here or buy by the box, you tend to get a better price or a better per serving size. The price comes down. So big cookies, which I keep putting the damn thing back. The big cookies are like £2, £2.15, something like that. These small ones, wherever they are, yeah, I think we've got like £1.45. So yeah, it's actually a pretty good grab and go price for a cookie like that, and you still get 8 grams of protein and everything. So good price on it, but it's a much better price on the bigger cookie. I mean, I guess you could say, oh, we should charge more for the bigger cookie now and make it make sense, but we wouldn't do that to you. So yeah, we've got that on site, and there's a new mini baked is better bundle, which is like £15 for 12 cookies. Mix and match across the 5 flavours, as always with us, as is our way. Yeah, so there you go. It's a big long spiel into it, and basically all I had to say here was that Lenny Larry's have released cookies, mini sizes, 5 flavours. Grab them on site now. More excitingly, although I confess I don't know a huge amount about this diet or lifestyle or whatever you like to call it, KETO Cookies. They've just released KETO Cookies. That's the other one sitting here. There are 3 flavours of these. I've got 2 of them out here, so a slightly different look on them. They've got the sheeny metallic thing. Different flavours. We've got choc chip, we've got coconut. They've gone in with that one. I'll explain why in a second. And we've got peanut butter. So, keto, the ketogenic diet, kind of the what's the word? The spiritual successor. I don't know. It's a little bit like the Atkins diet. You know that it's in the ballpark, but it takes a little bit further. Fundamentally, what Atkins was trying to do is what well, ketosis is what the ketogenic diet is doing in a more kind of objective sense. So to get into a ketogenic state and to get your body producing ketones and processing fats for fuel instead of carbohydrates, you basically starve yourself of carbs. So you have an uber low carb diet, like less than 20 grams a day, and that's like fixed. I believe with Atkins it used to go up and down and scale depending on where you were with the diet and what you were trying to achieve. Basically, yeah, ketogenic diet, slash that, and you put in loads and loads of fats, and the fats ultimately swap out the carbohydrates for fuel. So not only do the fats get burned and processed by the body, but as a result, your body then attacks the fats that are kind of on you. So if you want to bring your body fat down quite radically, quite fast, ketogenic diet and being in a ketogenic state can work really well. So there have been a lot of people even come in the shop and tell me about it. I know a lot of people have success with this. It's growing in popularity. It might just be here to stay. And yeah, in America, certainly they cater for it far better than we do here at the moment, but it's catching up. And obviously, yes, the snack companies are coming in there too. So up to this point, we've sort of ignored keto snacks because whilst I do tend to try and do the low carb thing, the concept of adding in fats always seemed kind of mad. I mean, yeah, I'll eat peanut butters and I'll eat full fat ice cream and things, but that, you know, I don't consider that as a kind of, you know, deliberately upped fat thing. But when I'm seeing a lot of snacks and recipes and stuff pitched on there that are telling you to add yeah, tons of avocado oil, coconut oil, loads of that, butter on everything. It's like the bulletproof coffee thing that comes into it, where there's a kind of butter in the coffee, which seems peculiar to me. I've had people come in the shop and tell me they've just been eating lard, which like raw fat. And obviously the ridiculous thing, it makes them lose weight and they feel better on it and everything, but it seems mad to me. So I'm not about ready to go there. But we have things that do overlap a bit keto-wise here in the mix. And in terms of Lenny and Larry's doing some cookies for it, yeah, absolutely fantastic. Because cookies, obviously, traditionally incredibly high carb, high sugar. Indeed, the Lenny and Larry's cookies are high carb and high sugar, have been for years. So they couldn't be less keto, if we're being honest. So it made sense for them to have a stab at it and fundamentally rework things. With all that said, what have we got here? We've got, like, they're about, yeah, very low carb and low sugar. That's the key thing, but they're also grain and gluten-free. So they're really pulling those things down, the kind of things you've always looked to avoid on the ketogenic diet, and the fats have gone up as a result. So what they've basically done, so we've got grain-free, gluten-free, 8 grams of protein, so still got 8 grams of protein. You'll notice these are smaller too. These are a lot smaller. So these are like 57 grams for the mini cookies, right? The ones I just showed you. These are 45. So looking at it in format, and indeed a little bit in terms of taste, they're still vegan and the rest. They're a lot like the no-cow cookies that we used to have a while back. I can't say they were hugely popular, but Lenny and Larry's, you know, they have seen off many other cookie brands in the marketplace. So even for them doing a very similar sort of product, they're probably going to do a lot better with it. So yeah, all the usual Lenny and Larry's promises, but they are gluten-free, unlike any of the other Lenny and Larry's bits. 8 grams of protein, 3 grams of net carbs, wow, 5 grams of fibre, no egg, blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, yeah, all after the rest of it, it's kind of straight up Lenny and Larry's stuff. I will open one of these two. Which one I will open, I don't know. Let's go peanut. I've got a peanut box sitting here. Woo! Peanut, easy one in my head for keto because, you know, nuts are, well, high in protein automatically, so that's pretty cool. But they're obviously very high in fat, so like good fats. So it kind of works for the keto thing. You do get a lot of nuts on that diet and things. And yeah, we'll open this. Again, it's not a huge amount to show you, but maybe I can help describe the flavour a little bit, as it is a bit different from some of the Lenny and Larry stuff you'll have come across before. So this is a slightly different experience. Woo! So it's kind of part cookie, part biscuit. I mean, it is soft and crumbly. It is closer to a cookie, I suppose, but there you go, with the silvery wrapper. Live the keto life with us, Lenny and Larry's. That's the stuff I'm seeing on the back. Yeah, nice enough. So it's all in keeping with their kind of new look branding that they're always slowly evolving. I think most people will take away from this. There's quite a distinctive, I think, coconut sugar taste. They're obviously running with some of that. Just make sure I'm not talking complete nonsense. Erythritol is what they're talking about. Roasted peanuts, coconut oil, chicory root, pea protein, peanuts. Yeah, it's funny, you know, because it doesn't actually say coconut oil. But that, not coconut oil. Oh, it does say coconut oil. Yeah, that is in there, so I can be forgiven for that. But it doesn't say coconut sugar. But it's got that slightly rich, slightly burned, sugary taste. Okay. It's more crumbly than the other Lenny and Larry's cookies, the traditional Lenny and Larry's cookies. It feels more pressed together. I mean, it's not to say it's not moist or anything, but yeah, it breaks away more. So it is closer to a bicky, I suppose, in that, but almost a kind of damp one. Yeah, it's actually quite a nice texture. Maybe it's the gluten. I think gluten does add to the kind of, it's like, well, not chewiness is the wrong word, but the traditional texture of Lenny and Larry's, I think losing the gluten and going for a gluten-free blend will make a significant difference, on top of the fact that they've obviously got more oils in there, which is, yes, to add in those fats, but it's also probably to add some decadence while offsetting some of the sugars and things. So I find they've all got a bit of a coconutty taste, and this isn't uncommon on the keto diet because coconut oil does factor a lot in there, and coconut itself is quite a high saturated fat. Yeah, it leaves a sort of coating on the tongue a little bit. It's not unpleasant, but it is different. Yeah, want to try it for yourself. I mean, the flavour's quite nice. Funnily enough, the coconut is actually quite a benign flavour in that one I've just eaten, the coconut flavour there. No, it isn't. I haven't eaten the coconut flavour at all. I'm getting confused, so I'm looking at that. That is why it's a benign flavour, because it's a peanut cookie. There is a hint of coconut there. Peanut isn't that strong, but there are real peanut nibs in there, little crunchy pieces. It's pretty cool. I don't know. There's not a huge amount more I can say out there. It's faithful to Lenny and Larry's. You've had a Lenny and Larry's cookie before. You know the sort of thing to expect. They've managed to keep that up despite a very, very radically different formula. But you will find it is more crumbly, almost more cakey. There's not a bite of a sort of biscuit or a cookie to it. And the flavours, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I was on the fence when we first tried these, and I was like, oh well, keto, Lenny and Larry's, would have to give it a go. All the team tried it, and we all thought it was okay, but we didn't rave about it. But that said, I think when you factor in the nutritionals, the reworking of those things, it's about 190 calories for one of these cookies. Yes, they are small, but you do get the 8 grams of protein. If you are looking for the higher fats and the super low carbs in your diet, it's brilliant to tick that box. There's not a lot else doing it. Yeah, I made a mess. Yeah, it's in a mix now anyway. The things, they are more expensive. I'm not sure if that's like a keto thing and they charge you for it, but they actually cost the equivalent to us of the full-size cookies. So that's the big monster 113 grammers. These 45 gram ones with these new formulas come in at the same price. So unfortunately, we've had to match that on site. So I think they're priced more or less the same, maybe a tiny bit more even than the regular Lenny Larry's cookies, which we have en masse. It's the very first delivery of these. There's not a lot in the country at all, but we have added it into the bundle, so you will get the equivalent pricing in the bundle. Our Lenny Larry's baked is better on there at the moment, and we've identified which ones are the keto cookies, so you know that means low sugar, low net carb, and gluten-free. And yeah, there are slightly more fats in it, but it's kind of negligible. I mean, we're looking at 10 grams of fat or whatever it is for the cookie anyway, but they are low carb and low sugar, so that's pretty cool. So If you're after a pretty tasty, crumbly, almost cake-like cookie with, yeah, a slightly coconutty overtone, then, yeah, grab these when you grab all the rest of your Lenny Larry's cookies and give them a try. You will probably like them. Whether or not, like, ultimately it's going to replace the original cookies or indeed the mini versions of the same cookies for most people, probably not. But if you're doing vegan, keto, and you really want cookies and are struggling to find anything even halfway pleasant, then, yeah, these are pretty awesome, actually. So we'll see if they do more flavours, but it's not a bad start with 3 flavours, 5 of the minis, 15 of the big cookies. I don't know, we've got loads of flavours. But they are all in the mix right now, so jump on and enjoy. Okay. Wow, that's like 20 minutes talking about cookies. Of course, I mean, who's going to complain about that? Cookies are awesome. Okay, let's just get that out of the way and we'll start again. I've still got cookie pieces around. Okay, next up, we're going to stick with the snacks. Slightly different one here. We've finally got these in, so it's Flavoured PB Co. Bags here. In fact, I'm going to make more of a mess. Actually, no, I'll save that for a minute. That's a surprise in a second. We have got from the lovely Heather over in the States, and she makes these. It's a very small company, like a handmade sort of endeavour, but it looks amazing as a result of that. She's just redone the packaging, so it's absolutely gorgeous. I think we've got 9 flavours right now. Is it 8 flavours in the mix, including the seasonal pumpkin cheesecake one. And these look amazing, so I'm going to bring these in. It's Flavoured PB Co, right? Okay, pumpkin cheesecake, that is the seasonal special, basic and otherwise. It's the 'tis the season and all that sort of stuff. So pumpkins in, big hitter, party cake, complete with sprinkles. What we really love about these, aside from the gorgeous look of them and obviously how nicely they taste, is they all have inclusions. They've made these super fun. So we've had peanut flowers in the mix before. So that's the party cake. Woo. Another favourite, the salted caramel crunch, very popular one here. It's one of my favourites for sure. And it says, I have toffee bits in. Yes, just yes, that's what we like to hear. So yeah, peanut powder. I'll show you a couple of these other ones. Coconut donut. How cute is that? Look at it. And yes, I have toasted coconut. You see, they use it in oats, shakes, yogurt, baked goods, and more. So yes. I mean, I'll wave some of the other flavours in a minute, but you get the idea. They're all up on site. They're all amazing. Very, very strong, bold, robust flavours and stuff. In terms of what's in there, Flavoured PB Co, as the name implies, it is flavoured peanut butter, or rather powdered peanut butter. That's why it's in sachets. Powdered peanut butter, pretty cool. Always done well for us in the mix with companies like Bell Plantation. In that it's a sort of diet-friendly peanut butter. So yeah, nut butters in general are kind of the last, one of the first things you have to cut if you're doing a calorie-controlled diet, right? Because they are so high in fats. Yes, high in proteins and good stuff as well, but their high fats make them quite hard to justify, or at least you have to have very, very small serving sizes and be very, very restricted with it, which is just no fun at all. So historically, yeah, when I've been trying to get more cut and shredded, when I had any time to really worry about my physique, I used to absolutely adore peanut butter. It's always been a mainstay here in the mix. I used to have to cut it out entirely, fully cold turkey, incredibly depressing, but I would always struggle to restrain myself. Probably similar with cookies, to be honest. I mean, I wouldn't open a Lenny Larry's cookie, I couldn't just have a bite, I would have the whole thing. So easiest just to step aside from the whole thing. So I basically banned myself from peanut butter. So that's terrible, but what I could have was the powdered stuff. So the way this works basically is they roast the nuts, usual fashion, they crush them, so they press the nuts. I mean, they blend them probably as well, but they crush the whole thing, and they then extract the oil. So obviously there's loads and loads of fats in there. If you press them really hard, the oil gets squeezed out. The oil is the fat, right? So about 90% of the fats come out of the nuts, and you are left with, yeah, you can get it with almond flour, you can get it with, almond butter powder, you can get it with peanut butter, you can do it with anything really, and then they do other stuff with the oil, so they use that in cooking or whatever else, so it's taken off, it's not wasted, but in terms of the detritus, right, the stuff that's left, they dry that out and then they will package it up, and you can basically rehydrate it into something like a peanut butter. It loses some of that oily, fatty decadence, but you can use it in baking, like these, you can use it for adding to shakes and things, and of course you can add a tablespoon or whatever of water, that you can do it to taste, and you can make up something that's kind of like a peanut butter paste. So you get a lot of the protein, you get a load of the goodness in terms of the vitamins and stuff, and you get that kind of craveable peanutty taste without the, for some downside of the fats. If you want the good fats and the high oleic acid, the things that Manulife go on about. If you want all that, brilliant, have real peanut butter, but if you're just trying to crush it out and you want a low-calorie version of the same and crave that flavour, and it's great for adding creaminess to shakes and stuff, then that's what powdered peanut butter is for. Oh, all that said, we've had a bunch of those in a mix, and indeed we do have some flavoured ones, like chocolate is quite common, but we've had hazelnut before, we've had maple ones before, a bunch of different ones. None of them come anywhere close to what Heather has achieved here with the Flavoured PB Co. She's taken it to the next level. She's made them super extra. Not just the extra inclusions, but damn, the indulgent, well, the creativity behind the flavours, but the really robust flavouring, the fulsome flavours have gone in. So when it says salted caramel or party cake or pumpkin cheesecake, this isn't the merest hint of it. It's a nuclear amount of it. Like, you fully get the idea of the dessert that comes out here. And indeed, Heather suggests these are kind of spreadable, spoonable sort of desserts, because you mix them up into the sort of peanut paste you're used to. It's far more than just a peanut butter. Sure, you can spread it on things and the inclusions in there and everything, but they are pretty low calorie for what they are. So obviously, so much of the fats come out. You are looking per serving 45 calories, which is pretty awesome. 1 gram of fat, 2 grams of protein, 7 grams of carbs, 3 grams of sugar. Obviously, all natural. They're gluten-free. They're all vegan, in fact, apart from the salted caramel, because the toffee bits in there, there is a small amount of dairy in it. So nearly vegan, but they're all vegetarian, all that cool stuff. But yeah, you can make a dessert out of it. That's really awesome. And often I've mixed these up. It's easy just to spoon it and scrape out the mug or whatever you make it in. That's so nice. But yeah, you can spread it on things. And I think what a lot of you guys will have fun doing is, yeah, you can add to shakes and the powerful flavouring these will come through. But I think a great way to do it is stirring to yogurt, obviously. Yes, stirring to oats, particularly at this time of year. So extra creamy, hearty, warming. And honestly, the flavours are so intense. They will cut through pretty much anything. So you'll have so much fun with doing that. And obviously, just the tip of the inclusions and everything that Heather's got in there too. It's so awesome. There's so much variety. There's more I haven't even covered. There's blueberry here with real freeze-dried blueberries in. There's banana nut with walnut chips. There's we got chocolate almond bar with almond nibs in as well. Yes, so cool. So many flavors. And I think she's got more on the horizon too. On that, next delivery, because there's a bit of a backstory here. We tried to get these in from the States, from California, a month ago, 5 weeks ago. But yeah, there was a glitch in customs. It got sent back. Nearly wrote the whole thing off, but these are so nice, so awesome, and we knew they'd do so well in the mix, and we have indeed had requests for them, seen such great reviews online. We're like, no, it's worth another shot. So we swallowed the loss, we turned it back around, and this time, sure enough, they did come in. Anyway, in the meantime, so we didn't have time to add to the order since then, Heather released toffee apple. It's fantastic. Again, a very seasonal sort of flavour, but really, really robust, and it is just like, oh, I don't know, like, well, toffee apple. And that's not particularly helpful of me, but yeah, it's got toffee bits in it too. Really awesome. I'm assuming that means this one is a vegetarian, not a vegan. Anyway, we don't have this one yet. This will be coming in, but yeah, I really can't get over the intensity of the flavour here. It's almost like bubblegum toffee apple. It's so wonderfully sweet and over the top. Yeah, you'll enjoy it. You'll love it. And indeed, barely done any promo. We only just threw them up on site yesterday. It was the Friday, and we've got holidays and staff illness and stuff at the moment. So we're spread a little bit thin. We're running behind. But yeah, they've already sold incredibly well. I think a third of the stock's gone already, and we've barely started. So we're going to get more of these on the way now that we've got the import sorted from the States, and we'll have toffee apple on the next shipment as well. And then I dare say, I haven't had confirmation from her yet, I dare say there will be some more seasonal flavours, maybe a Christmas flavour of some description. But I mean, either way, we've got loads to go on here. There's a bundle on site, there's a 3-pack, so I think they're $11.99 retail in and of themselves, which is like 18 servings, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that's really not too bad for something that's as flexible and delicious as this. And with the bundle, it's like £30 for 3 bags, so it falls down to just over £10. So yeah, pretty awesome. And you're going to want to try a load of the other flavours too, I'm very, very sure. So these are in the mix right now. I think there might be, she might have some sample sachet, like single serve packs. I'll try and get some of those in the future as well to allow more of you to try this stuff, but there's no doubt you'll come right back and you'll want to buy bags of this. We've had nothing quite like this in the past, and it'll go down incredibly well, I'm sure. Ooh, okay, that's it, done. Flavoured PB Co in the mix now. Yeah, the Instagram posters are up. Millie did that one yesterday, and yeah, we'll keep doing more, so we'll email it out and stuff soon too. Okay, final one, MTS on the supplement front. So we've done snacks, we've done spreads, we're going to do sups. we have finally got that delivery in. So a week or two late, but we now have an insane amount of MTS in. So yes, we're set up for Black Friday, but yeah, there've been way too many out of stocks in this for way too long. Supplement side, like the Vasky, the Ruckus, the Clash, we did just get a restock on Ruckus, so all the flavours should be filled up now. But yeah, the big one has been the gaps in the protein. But they're all in here, and we have new stuff to talk about. So first off, we'll start with the slightly more kind of performance side of this, an MTS Isolate. So Mark has just released these. I mean, historically, he's not been the biggest fan of isolates. He's always preferred blends, as indeed have I. But you know, there's a demand in the market, and he's in a position to make a very nice, high-quality product under the MTS banner. The product's now come out, and it's a very good price actually. So he has hit the market with something very, very strong. So 36 servings, $34.99, so it's less than £1 a serving, and that's the same price, in fact, as the Whey blends, where it's like 26 or 27 servings a tub. So it's rare for an isolate to actually beat a blend in terms of pricing. Yummy Sports have done it well. Mark has done it here too. And it's a lovely, creamy, easy mixing blend. I will say, now that we've actually tried it, we've got 4 flavours. So we've got chocolate, we've got vanilla, we have got strawberry, so all the base flavours that you get with protein powders, the sort of historically the most popular. But we've also got a graham cracker. Bring it in just to show you, because anything with biscuits in, it's kind of the way this video is going. Sorry folks, I keep finding myself sniffling. Everyone has been ill. Indeed, my family at home have been ill. Maybe I'm coming down with a cold, and it is really cold. I know it's nothing to do with getting a cold, but yeah, I haven't got time to get sick at the moment, so I'm going to ignore the sniffles. So yeah, apologies if that comes through a lot on the recording. There's no way I can edit out loads and loads of me sniffling. Anyway, yeah, only premium, more than 90% pure protein, ideal post-workout, anytime, blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, you guys know what Isolate's good for, right? It is the sort of premium fuel when it comes to a protein powder. There is often a trade-off in terms of texture, in terms of just the decadence of the shake. It's more of a far cry from like a McDonald's, like a diner style milkshake. It's more like flavoured water is the way I've always seen it. So you know, isolates are fine, and it's great if you've got any problems with lactose, or you're trying to avoid as many calories as possible, sugars as possible. In fact, you know, if you want the leanest possible source of protein, the most easy digesting, the most easily mixable, then isolate is for you. For me, the flavour tends to then disappoint, and you don't tend to get so many fun things like inclusions in there, which is sort of what I live for, and it kind of breaks up the monotony of having protein each and every day, multiple times a day, as I have done for years and years. So this is why I prefer Mad Things and cereal stuffed ones and all the rest of it, and blends in general, like Ghost, like PE Science Select. Yeah, that's just where my head's at. However, there is a big demand for isolate. A lot of people really like the premium side of it, and the lower kind of risk of gastro sort of distress on the back of it. So I get it. And Yummy Sports has done really well on the back of that because of the crazy flavours they do while still being an isolate. But obviously Mark, MTS, he's kicked the quality up another notch, and he's also come in with a good price, and we've got a good range of flavours. So, I mean, this is a fantastic, fantastic product. We're still going to go in with his regular machine whey stuff. That's where it's at for the mix, but we had to get the isolates in too. Does seem like a more professional product. The flavour is more mild. It is probably a more flexible shake. Even with that graham cracker shake, it's something that would go very nicely into everything. It mixes fantastically well. As an isolate always should. It should basically fall into the water. You shouldn't have to mix it too much. And I'd say if you're after the wacky stuff and you love Mark's other shakes, the isolate, unless there's a particular need in your dietary requirements or training for an isolate, I'd stick with Mark's regular shakes. Yeah, they're on the higher calorie side, but if you found the brand through how mad they are, bold they are, sweet they are, thick they are, then the isolate is a far cry from that. If you are just looking for an isolate protein, you haven't bought his other shakes because they maybe haven't agreed with your stomach before, perhaps the gluten in there and the cake inclusions has been a problem, then the isolate will bring you into the MTS brand. Fantastic, fantastic quality. And still, yeah, the flavours you've got on there at all, and the great price as well. So, yeah, that's my say. I mean, we always prefer going in on the mad things, but isolate is in the mix now. Mark has been making a big, big fuss about it, and rightly so. It's a great quality product for a great price. And we've just got the £2 tubs at the moment, like 35, 36 servings per tub. We might get the bigger tubs as well, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's a great choice if you're looking for a quality protein. But yeah, the other flavours, which I'm going to come to now, are where we have the most fun and what you'll often hear me going on about. Woo! Woo! Nearly opening time, and I've run on. Excellent, excellent. Okay, Mark's regular proteins. Massive range of flavours at this point in both sizes, so the £2 tubs and the big monster £5 tubs. New ones to talk about alongside some of the favourites coming back. American apple pie. Running with this. Woo! There you go, it looks delicious. It is a cinnamony, appley kind of sweet shake. It's actually similar overtones to Heather's toffee apple here. But yeah, very good for the time of year. Very enjoyable in the typical Mark sense. And I think, yeah, there's actually there's like pie crust pieces in there as well. So little, they're quite subtle, but little kind of biscuity pieces as well to sort of sell the dessert vibe of this shake, as Mark always does so well. That is in the mix now. We're also hoping in the £2 tubs to get the pumpkin spice, the pumpkin pie sort of flavour he's done over in the States. So we'll have to see. Hopefully for Black Friday, we might get another shipment in, but watch this space. Apple pie is in the mix now. We have had back as well, whoa, here we go. Banana cream pie, blueberry muffin, red velvet, mint cookies and creams. First time we've had that in the £2 tubs actually, and that's a delicious shake, you'll love that. Chocolate, we've got vanilla in, there's peanut butter cookies and cream, that's always a nice one. Espresso we still have. Birthday cake we got back in. We've only ever had like one shipment of that in the past, I think. There's no sprinkles in that, sadly, but it is a fun, sweet, over-the-top vanilla one. There's probably loads I'm forgetting. Gourmet cookies and cream as well. That's the straight-up cookies and cream. Yeah, a whole bunch of them. They're up on site as we speak while stocks last. And big tub wise, yes, we've got everything back, including red velvet, the big popular on the £5 tubs. The triple chocolate cake, which is fantastic. So it's taking the chocolate shake and adding in chocolate chips and kind of cakey pieces. It's wonderful. And brand new one here. Just got to bring in two. Ooh, God, holding these ones up. They're not in small tubs, unfortunately. We've got the Aussie chocolate biscuit. So as you'll see there, that is basically a penguin you're seeing. Technically speaking, it's a Tim Tam. So if you have spent much time down under or indeed brought in any of their snacks, Tim Tam, big kind of chocolate-coated biscuity snack, kind of single bar type things for them. Yeah, very, very similar to penguins, but they're known for doing like Tim Tam slams and stuff like that. So let's put that there so it looks pretty. Yeah, I think you tend to drink, I don't know, maybe tea or whatever through it. So you put it in a hot drink and you'd suck it up. And the biscuit sort of melts as you do it, and it has wonderful flavour, and it's great fun to do, very sticky and messy and everything. So quite famous for that. Tim Tam Slam, so it's a chocolate-coated, kind of dense wafer biscuit with sort of a chocolate fondant centre as well. That is translated in here. I think it's definitely chocolate chips. And yes, cookie crumbs and stuff as well. And you can hear them rattling about. There you go. I mean, it's the shaker there for the most part, but we've got a few of those in too. That's one we've been trying to get for ages, actually, and we finally got some tubs in the mix as we speak. Yeah, and in the bundlet as well. We do a bundle of that with Clash. Yeah, there you go. So that's all in the mix in the moment. Other ones I should probably touch on while we're doing MTS is outright bars. I'll grab the nearest one to hand. Banana walnut, my favourite. It's a peanut butter one. Mark is not only releasing 2 new flavours of this, that's going to be a little way down the line, more immediately, and you might have seen the fuss online, vegan. He's finally doing vegan. Now, the Game Changers movie seems to have sparked a lot of controversy and debate across the industry. Indeed, it's made a lot of people think, wow, I could go plant-based and I could essentially be superhuman. But there are a lot of people saying, like, they're distorting the historical facts and they're trying to tell their own story. Whatever it is, it has provoked some debate about it. And it's a diet that might work better for some people, and it might work terribly for some people. So it's always just something to bear in mind as you're watching this. They've obviously got a bit of an agenda doing it, and the athletes they've used. I think there's some controversy about they're suddenly releasing kind of books and things on the back of it and trying to get your money, and so they think it's like a cynical manipulation of quite a faddy thing to do. Whatever. I mean, to be honest, I haven't even finished watching the whole thing. I got it started and I just haven't had the time. And I was trying to watch Sups the movie as well. I haven't even successfully made my way through that. I've been so flat out doing various bits over the last little while. Anyway, I will catch up. It'll happen probably at Christmas when I get a few days off. But Game Changers movie has provoked a lot of sort of vegan debate in the industry. Regardless, I think the vegan outright bars, which we will make a big song and dance about, don't you worry when they come in, are going to, because the outright bars are already really nice bars, already doing wonderfully well for something quite different. All these had to change pretty much apart from some of the inclusions things, is he's had to change the base from honey to, well, another sweetener source, a natural low GI sweetener source, and he's gone for maple, which is fantastic. I'm glad he did, over something like agave or something like that. Not a big fan of that, or indeed like a coconut sort of sweetener. Maple is the one. I spent a few years in Canada. I love maple things, got a great taste for it, so I can't wait to actually try these bars. I haven't had the pleasure yet, but he's done it with the banana walnut, I think is coming vegan from the get-go, and I think the chocolate chip's coming vegan from the get-go. I think it's 2 flavours, but I'm sure there'll be loads more. But the lovely green wrappers, he's done some shirts to go with it too. I think this could do even more good, even more disruption in the vegan market than it has done in the dairy kind of quite hotly contested protein bar market. In the vegan market, there is less squeamishness about like a high sugar product or a high carb product, and a lot of them just don't taste that good. They're just funny date bars that let down. They don't get the protein and everything. For something like this from Mark that has all the hallmarks, the amazing flavour and the robustness and the kind of decadence of the outright bar range, but done, yes, vegan, and bringing in a decent amount of protein and hitting kind of more of a gym market with it. But it's also, you know, the real whole food bar. It works across the whole thing. There's no wacky stuff like you get chicory root fiber in great quantities in many of the vegan bars that give you like a justifiable nutritional base. Yeah, it could do incredibly well. I know he's very, very excited about it. And so am I, to be honest, because it's, you know, we love any genuinely good tasting vegan snacks hitting the mix. They're not that easy to find, and certainly we don't like listing loads and loads of things that are the same, and that's the danger with vegan snacks. You get like 1 or 2 formats that just the brands lazily roll out again and again and again. So we're always looking for different bars and snacks. Those have done surprisingly well on the dairy side, even in the face of, you know, the big winners like Quest and Grenade and Bear Bells. And so, yeah, I can't wait to see what it does in vegan when it's less contested marketplace anyway. Who knows? It's going to be very interesting. Did speak to Mark last night, and tentatively, it should be in time for Black Friday. So it's great we'll be able to do some promos on it. We'll make a big fuss of, yes, MTS, but outright too for Black Friday. We'll definitely have to factor that into some sort of special deal. But they are due out in the States in like a week's time. And so, yeah, there'll be a week or so getting them into the UK, but it should mean we get them in time for Black Friday. And as I say, there are 2 other outright flavours. I don't know if they're coming till afterwards, though, so Mark hasn't confirmed that. But the vegan ones, we should hopefully have. Very exciting. We also got the outright, the MTS, like wafers. There's a slight glitch with these ones, and I'll probably figure out what the hell we're going to do with them and relaunch it next week, or launch it properly next week and maybe do a video then. But basically, they're lovely, cute boxes, but we didn't realise that inside the boxes, they're just in foil wrappers. No nutritionals on it or anything across the 2 flavours, chocolate and vanilla. They're very, very nice. They're definitely worth getting up in the mix, and actually I've bought quite a lot of them, but I didn't know this. So after the guys yelling at me for not checking it out, we will figure out some way to do it. Obviously, the mix, we like to do things singly so you can pick and mix and everything and try a little bit of stuff without having to buy whole boxes. So we're probably going to have to mock up some labels and just individually sticker the bars, which a bit of a pain in the arse, but you guys are worth it. So we will figure it out like that. Or if that really looks crap, we will end up doing whole boxes. They're 12 kind of, well, there's 2 wafers a pack, so it'd be 24 wafer, but like 12 pack boxes. So we might have to fall back and do it like that. We'll see. I mean, outright to the main event, but we did get some of them in. We've been after them for a while. They did come in, and now we can't really sell them to you. So we got to figure that out. I haven't had time yet. It's not happened. So watch this space. Okay. MTS done. Whilst we're on supplements, I'm just going to jump over to our good buddies over at PES. We have got the chocolate mint cookie. I say we have got, by that I mean literally we have got. This is a sample tub for us, sorry guys. We should have had more. We should have had a first shipment to a few cases of this stuff that, yeah, would have gone really quickly anyway. But this is the brand new flavour from PES in a select. It's a long running flavour. It's not a seasonal special. It is quite seasonal. There's a mint one. But this is a milk chocolate mint, and like the peppermint white chocolate they've done before. It's loads nicer than that, I have to say. It is a milk choc mint with a kind of cookie vibe to it. And in that, it's actually a wonderful shake. So I'm not a huge mint fan. I'll happily drink a thing here, but I won't go out of my way for mint things. It's not like top of my list. But I think I can say this is the finest choc mint shake I've ever had. And I'm not ashamed to say that. I wasn't even expecting too much with it, but it's very creamy. It's got all the wonderful quality select hallmarks, that lovely mixability, the milk protein isolate in there, which makes a big difference to the texture. Obviously gluten-free, the great macros and all the rest of it, but it's the fact they've got such an amazing balance of chocolate and mint. The mint, weirdly, the mint is actually quite a recessive flavour in it. There's a fresh overtone to it, but there's no big kind of toothpastey mint thing that hits you out of the gate, which is fantastic. So if you're a big fan of mint and that's why you come to this, you may think, oh, it's not mint enough for me. But I think for most people, for an actual genuine shot of keeping this going as a long-running flavour that can fight against things like the Snickerdoodle and the Cake Pop, which are spectacular winners for them, I think, yeah, they've done an amazing balance here, and I don't think any brand has pulled off quite such a, like an elegant mix of two quite strong flavours, often divisive flavours in terms of the combo. So there's that, and it's got the edge of the cookie. So the same thing you get in the peanut butter cookie shake they do, that kind of edge of, I don't know, brown sugar cookie in it. It's quite sharp, but I mean, again, offset with the strong mint flavour and the chocolate, it works so well. I mean, I didn't expect to rave about this, but it really is quite good. It's not going to beat Cake Pop, it's not going to beat Snickerdoodle, but this is going to be one of the best flavours. I'm fairly sure. I'm going to put my neck on the line and say it, and everyone should try this when it comes in. I mean, if you don't like mint, forget it. But I mean, it's just this is definitely my favourite of any mint shake I've tried. I have tried a few, and there's the kind of cookies and cream edge to it as well. So there is a sweetness that cuts through it. It does deliver that cookie vibe, but it's kind of, I mean, a lot of Americans saying, oh, thin mint and stuff like that. Like Viscount biscuit is I suppose, in the ballpark, but that's to do it a disservice. It's actually more subtle than that. So you have to wait to try it. We'll try and get samples and sachets as soon as we can. But in terms of actual tubs we can offer you guys, bit of a glitch with shipping. PES have redispatched now, so we should have them, I could say this time next week, but I suspect it'll probably slip to the week after. But we will have a first batch in time for Black Friday, probably 2 weeks' time. So please sign up for notifications on site if you want to be first to get one of these, because it will not last long when it goes up. And then we do have masses coming where you don't have to panic quite so much, but that might not make Black Friday. Eesh. So we want as much PES on site for Black Friday as possible. Again, I know I keep harping on about it, but all our favourites, all our best sellers, we want as much in as possible. So I'm doing my best, but that is very good. Cake Pop is out of stock again. That is the big hit, winner right now. Wheels are in motion to improve the supply of that going forward. But yeah, we will have more. I'm trying for Black Friday. I'm doing my best. Okay, so that is about it. Mini restocks then. We got some choc truffle and bicky butter from Maddie. That's back up on the site now. We have nearly seen the back of the Halloweeny bits. I think there's a few of her candy bar pies left, but all our Hocus Pocus has gone. Next seasonal one, I think it's going to be Christmas stuff coming up. We're just locking down 2 or 3 flavours with Maddie. One of them, I think, will probably just be an exclusive to us, and then the others will be to her, and we'll get to play with them eventually. But we're trying to do things a little bit differently and a nod to sort of things we've done with her in the past. I think you'll see a return of the mince pie bar, and we're playing with sort of white chocolate and Nutella and lots of things we've used ingredients in the past for ranges with her. So we will try and please as many of you folks as possible. That'll be delicious. You can guarantee that. Big restock on Ghost we just got. We were quite low there. I don't think there are any actual out of stocks, but it's milk chocolate whey, but that might be a while coming back in. Maxx Chewning's 2 flavours have just been announced. They're launching next Thursday. That'll probably just be on the Ghost site, so Ghost USA, if any of you guys in America are watching this, and the Ghost UK site, that's Thursday the, oh, I don't know, 14th maybe? Could be that. So yeah, November 4th, that's going up there. They'll be fantastic. There's the mango margarita and there's the strawberry daiquiri. The mango margarita one was my favourite, I think, ever flavour Ghost have done in the past. And there's an extra pump ingredient vasodrive in there. Wonderful blend. I'll get some for the mix if I can. I'm begging Dan and the team, but it probably won't happen because of remunerations. But yeah, I'll definitely be jumping on to grab some tubs. And the new strawberry daiquiri, I strongly suggest you do too while stocks last. Max, well, I'll come back to him in a minute. And also, Ghost have seasonal proteins coming back again. So there's their own Snickerdoodle and their peppermint bark. They're coming back in, and I should be able to get those for you in the mix again, and hopefully more than I did last time. They had very few to spare last time, so I only begged a couple of cases of each. Now, hopefully, we'll get some more. So yeah, watch this space. Ghost is doing doing bits, and yes, in terms of Maxx, woo. SourStrips. SourStrips are still in stock. We had another big relaunch, but fortunately we got it about right. We've got enough in to ride out that wave. So still available on site at the moment. And hopefully we'll be able to still do some sort of promo around Black Friday as well. So yeah, we're going to try and make it a bit of a spectacular. Very excitingly, mango is coming soon for this. It's Max's fourth flavour, and obviously one he's very famous for. He's going in big on this, and we will too. In fact, if we can time this right, we will do a sort of global launch thing with him, so it's going to be so awesome. We will try and get them to time up with his own launch, get as many as we possibly can. I might even do some sort of giveaway along with the mango margarita if I can get a couple of ghosty tub flavours as a promo. So yeah, look out for that one. That'll be post Black Friday, obviously, so early December, first week or two of December, we'll make a big fuss of that. But it'd be a great giftable one for Christmas. We're actually going to work this into some of our gift bundles as well. Who doesn't want sour candy at Christmas? So yeah, that's going great guns as well. What am I at? 50 minutes. Okay, that is probably more than enough of me for today, and indeed I have to open the shop. It is absolutely bitter, so I don't anticipate it's going to be busy here today, but again, we've had so much delivered, we've got a lot of sorting to do, orders to pre-pack ready for the week ahead for you guys. Yeah, it's wild at the moment, but yeah, thanks to 3D and various other energy drinks, we have to... we can plow on through and keep things coming. There's bound to be loads more new stuff. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything else coming in those week ahead, but we do have a bunch of new stuff on the horizon still for ready for the end of the month, basically, for Black Friday. So yeah, hang in there, folks. Loads of exciting stuff coming at you. And yeah, that's it. I'm sure there's some website updates I wanted to give you, but it can wait. Right, have a fantastic weekend. You're going to a bonfire night thing tonight over here in the UK. That's what I'm doing, so I'm going to drone, blow some shit up later. Then enjoy. I hope it's not raining. I hope it's not too cold and misty and everything else. But I mean, that's the British way, right? So lovely early winter weather we're getting at the moment here. Have a fantastic weekend though, and I will see you in the mix for the next weekly roundup. Bye for now.